Welcome to Just Us Men. We got another great episode for you guys today. We're going to talk about MLB opening day, just a few weeks away. See if the Houston Astros have a chance to get to World Series again. We're also going to talk about and get in depth with Jonathan's family, and he has a blended family. Let's curious on how he does what he does for his family with his kids, how he runs his family with such a different, unique type of blend that all of us don't really have. And we also got your viewer questions. So grab a drink, sit back, and let's go.
Always go hard with this school. Welcome to the show, let's make moves. Nothing's gonna stop us, it's time to get rough. Turn the whole room up, it's never enough. Let's go, 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 let's go.
All right, welcome to Just Us Men. We got about to go on vacation, Jonathan. I'm never on time, Pedro.
And small balls, Jaxson.
I'm small balls, Jaxson.
My man.
All right, guys. Hey, check this out. Tell me what you think. I traded my wedding ring for a Houston Astros championship ring.
Hey.
Trade. All right, what do you think? I mean, I think the wife will be all right with it.
Oh, no, I don't think
No,
so.
you don't
But
think she'll be all right
That's
with
the
it?
only one that's going to have a problem.
No.
Yeah,
Damn it. Well, I'll sleep in the doghouse tonight if you want. Been wearing this all day. It's kind of heavy, but it's a replica. It's not real. But
and he traded his wedding ring for that.
I pawned my wedding ring already for
Right.
it. No. We got Houston Astros opening season next few weeks.
Yeah.
What's the chances you think we're going to be walking away with another one of these?
This is going to be interesting. I mean, our biggest, to me, if your manager moves on, I think that's going to be a big change. So kind of curious to see how the new guy's going to run the team.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fun though. I mean, we still got a lot of power there. Verlander is starting off on the IR, so
that's very unfortunate.
Yep. But
I think the managerial move would have made a bigger difference if he had a bigger impact. And I'm not saying he had a bad impact.
okay, that's interesting.
But I kind of looked at him like Steve Kerr with the Warriors.
Interesting. You think
the
so?
team is going to do what the team's going to do. You just need someone to keep them on the right track.
Okay.
Be a manager.
Okay.
So I think our new hire will fit in just fine. I mean, this to take nothing away from Dusty Baker. I was a Dusty Baker fan.
Yeah.
When I grew up, he was the manager of the Cubs, and that was our rival at the time. National League, that was our rivalry then. Now it's the Yankees a little bit more, but great manager. But I just feel like with the team that we have, we're built for few more championship runs in the near future. So I don't think the managerial change will set us back much.
Okay.
Maybe even help us because we went a lot younger, maybe 30 years of an age gap younger, maybe give us a little bit more fire, a little bit more hunger than the laid back old head, which, like I said, nothing bad against them.
Right.
Maybe Jason Kelsey said at his retirement ceremony this week, a hungry dog runs faster.
Yep.
Okay.
And how hungry Dusty Baker was, I could only imagine is a little bit less than our new manager.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay.
And now I'm interested. I mean, I was already interested in the first place, but I'm really interested to see how this goes.
I mean, Altuve's back, and he has a contract of a lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be the Houston Astros for his life.
Couldn't happen to a better one either.
Yeah, that little
amazing.
man. I love it. I love it. I really do.
I'm telling you. Yeah, I do worry about Verlander. I mean, he got us to the World Series the first time, got traded to, was it Mets? I think New York Mets, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, it was New York Mets. He got traded.
He signed as free agent.
Yeah, didn't come back. It came back quicker than we thought.
Yeah.
Now he's on IR. So
now you see why.
And we won that trade because they're paying, I want to say 60 or 70% of his salary this year as well.
Yep.
From that trade. So
that's amazing. Amazing.
He can start on the IR and we're still getting our money's worth.
Exactly. But honestly, I think their chances are huge heading back to the World Series.
Hope so.
I really do.
Speaking on Altuve, after he got his contract, I've seen the video several times. It just keeps surfacing every time, he does something else that he does, real Altuve-ish. It was showing him when he was back home, and Altuve was meeting with the scout that had found him, believed in him. He said, look, this is all we have left, but I believe in you. All you need is an opportunity. And Altuve said, he was like, when I took it, I signed it, of course. But what I was thinking in the back of my head was just 3 days ago, me, my siblings, and my mom walked to the river right behind me to take a bath and wash our clothes. $15,000 might not be nothing to them, But that's life changing for me, and
Life-changing,
there was no hesitation to it,
exactly.
Yeah.
and it's came back for him very well.
It's amazing.
That's crazy.
It's amazing.
That's crazy.
You know, and that's crazy is that if you give that person a chance, you don't know what they might do just with that chance, 1 in a million chance, you know? And I mean, look at our podcast. I mean, we're on episode 7 now.
Yeah.
We started episode 1, didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
And the last I saw, we're up over 400 subscribers in a month and a half, over
Pretty good.
80,000
That's awesome.
views in a month and a half.
Yeah.
All because people are like, let's give them a chance. Let's watch these guys. Let's see what these guys got. And the comments and the feedback from what I'm seeing on Instagram and YouTube, as well as what you guys are seeing and your viewers, you know, from work and friends and people and strangers that you guys, you know, notified this about, it's just been phenomenal. All because someone gave them a chance, you know? So truly amazing.
One more football quote, you know, I'm a football fan.
Yeah.
Of course.
And Jason Kelsey's retirement. Did you guys watch it?
No,
I saw a little bit of it on ESPN.
Oh, that's a tearjerker.
Yeah, it
Is
is.
it?
It
I
is.
was driving back in traffic. It was almost getting watery eyes. And I was pissed off with the traffic I was dealing with. But no, he said after the 2016 season when he just stunk it up. He was, because you know he's never been the biggest guy, the strongest guy. He was a running back that converted to offensive lineman.
Oh,
So he's always
I didn't know
been
that.
the smaller side of the offensive line. So after this 2016 season, he was like, you know, I was getting overpowered. They were quicker than me. They were stronger than me. It just wasn't getting it done. And everyone in the organization, you know, Philly fans. They're no nonsense,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's not about what you did for me then. It's what are you doing for me right now?
Right,
and if
right,
it's
right.
not it, you got to
That's
go.
it.
So he said the whole city had turned his back on him. Everyone wanted him gone. If they would have got a trade for a decent washer and dryer, sure would have taken it.
Nope.
That's awesome.
But he said he only had one guy in the whole organization that believed in him, which was his offensive line coach. He said from there to his retirement, he made 6 more Pro Bowls, 7-time All-Pro. So like you said, one person believe in you,
believe in him,
and you can do a lot of things.
And our viewers and
There
our
you go.
subscribers, you guys are believing in us, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Very
for that.
much.
Thank you. How's your family doing, man?
They're good, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's healthy. How about that? You know,
That's first
I know that's crazy. When you got those little ones, you put them in school, and it's
rotation.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing,
and
man.
when you have more than one gets sick, then you know, then the other one's good, and then that one gets sick, and the other one's good, and
All while you're getting sick every time.
Sheesh, man. Sheesh.
I hear
mean,
you.
you have how many kids? So let the new viewers know this. I mean, episode 1, you blew us away and told us the first time
Yeah.
that your wife was pregnant.
Yep.
And
so I got a 21-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a baby on the way.
Yeah.
I think she's right around 16 weeks, somewhere around there. So
and you're how old?
45.
He said that wasn't part of the question.
I'm 45 right now and about to be 46 in 2 days.
2 days, man.
2 days. Yeah,
What are
so
we
pretty
doing-
much
what
at
are
46.
What are we doing for your birthday?
Be on the road.
Ooh, we're not celebrating with them.
Wow, dude, you know what that means, right?
He's
Yeah.
trying to avoid
I
celebrating
know,
with
that's what
us.
he's trying to do. That's what he's trying to do. But
So
don't worry,
back to-
don't worry. We're just going to crash in his house one time next week when he comes
Reel
back from
this back.
vacation.
Let's reel this back.
Exactly.
No, so I mean, yeah, so I got a little tribe, which is a lot of fun. It really is. I mean, again, I guess when we met, and we started dealing with it, my kids were younger, and when you're talking about this age, and they're that much younger, it's a lot. I mean, it really is, right? You know, so Natalie's like almost about. I guess when we met, she was probably around like 2. Jeffrey was. So she was about 2 and Jeffrey was 4, you know, still 4, but she was the early 2s. You know how that is, right? So I'm working on potty training with her, trying to get Jeffrey out of diapers or quit peeing in the bed at night for him because he's potty trained, but you know, you'd get that nighttime diaper. And so we were struggling with that. So that was like a constant every night, getting up, either peeing in bed or getting up to go pee. And then the other one's crying. I mean, I was just
And you got to be up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
4:45 to be at work.
4:45.
To
Oh
be
my
at work
goodness,
at
man.
6.
Better
So-
man.
So yeah, so it was a con, and I mean that's a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
when you're tired, it's just freaking rough.
That's it, man.
I mean, it
It's
makes
rough, bro.
every
Yeah.
day
Everything's
rough.
harder.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
then you know, with them being always sick and everything like that, and then I'm going to be honest, like now, I mean, I feel like Natalie's potty trained. Now she has a diaper only at night, and most of the time she wakes up and it's dry. So I mean, we're actually
Good.
It's obviously easier than Jeffrey was. Jeffrey just gave me heck on it. So that's finally getting better. I feel like I'm finally getting, you know, more sleep, you know, that, you know, Jeffrey's now just getting up and, you know, turning the lights on by himself to go pee, Yeah, I mean, it's just
nice.
like, yes,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
So I mean, he's starting to take care of him. It's like, okay. The most I have to do is say, go back to your room. Go back to your room. No, you're not crawling in bed. Go back to your bed. No, sorry, go back to your room. But yeah, so sleep's finally starting to get there. That's why I decided to have another kid. So to,
You're like,
I'm getting way too much sleep here, man. This
Something's
is
not right.
It's not right. Exactly.
I'm
Right.
getting too normal. Hold on, I gotta change it up a little bit.
Exactly. And then, and then the 21-year-old, he's doing his thing. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's, finally got that real job going, or whatever job that he's got. It's a part-time, full-time job.
Yeah.
It's pretty much school work.
That's awesome that he's keeping busy like that, man. School and work.
Yep.
I mean, you have to. You got to.
No, for sure. I mean, and he enjoys it. I mean, he doesn't complain, even though he doesn't seem like he ever has a break.
Yeah.
I mean, even when he has a break, he picks up the kids when he's not going to work. He'll pick them up from school, bring them home, take care of them until I show up or to the wife.
That's amazing, man.
No,
Dude, he
down,
steps up a lot. That's truly amazing, man.
Dude's
Very impressive.
He's
That's
different. He's a different kind of kid. I know the rest of them aren't going to be as easy as him. You don't get that lucky every time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's going to be Jeffrey. I think it's going to be him. Natalie's a little sweetheart, but she'll probably give me heck in high school or something. But,
for sure.
I know,
that's
right?
when the girls.
Yep.
That's when they really get tried.
Man.
But I did notice your big age gap, 21 to 5.
4. Yeah.
4. Give us a little insight on that.
Okay. Yeah. So, different box of cereal, right? So I wasn't the same.
We can't make it through an episode.
No, different box of cereal. That was quite a bit ago. So that was the first, had a kid with her. I was 25. We weren't together. We were together for a while, and that we were together on and off
married.
Not married. We're on together for a minute, and then we ended up breaking off. And 3 days later, she came over and said, "I'm pregnant." Actually, she came to my job.
Oh,
Tell me.
your job.
Yeah,
Man. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
That
a
was
way
To
to
make
announce
sure
that.
she got you.
Man.
I want to let you know you didn't miss that one.
yeah. That was the
You
that
are
was
the father.
I was like, I don't know. That was really hard because I mean, it was okay. Again, we dated for a minute. And we liked each other, but it was just things just weren't working out right.
Mhm.
So it was like, okay, let's go ahead and we're gonna end this. And then she ends up telling me that, and then I was just like, look, we broke up for a reason, and let's not force this. Let's not make a bad decision just for a kid.
Right.
Let's make a right decision.
There's a lot of unhappy people that do that just because the kid.
Right. Exactly. So we didn't. And the thing about it, even in that situation, I said, look, every doctor's appointment, I'm going to be there. Anything you need, I'm going to be there. It's just because we're not together doesn't mean, I'm not going to do what a man should do.
Yep.
Step up and do what
You
he
stepped
needs
up
to
and
do,
did it. Yep.
which I did. And we did that for quite some time. When he was born, I think I wanted to say I stayed with her for a minute, because she still stayed with her folks. And then eventually I kind of, did my thing or whatever. So, and then later on, we did end up moving in a house together. We did for a little bit. And that was, you have your room, he has his room, I have my room, but we all did it for him. Later in time, that just can't work out.
Right.
So, I started going a different direction, and she said, okay, that's cool. Obviously you need to move on with your life. So she, did that. And at that point it was the hardest part, I guess, one of the hardest parts of my life, because I made that sacrifice because I wanted to make sure I was always there for Matt. And that has to do with, my upbringing and lack of a dad during that time.
You took that experience to be a better dad. Yeah.
Right. So whenever that finally kind of, that stopped, it ended up being every other day. And we lived in the same area, basically same neighborhood kind of. So it was every other day I get him, she gets him. And that was still really hard.
Yeah.
I'm not even lying. I mean, because how I looked at it, it's like, I'm not going to see you half of the year. Right. Even though it's every other day, but it's still half the freaking year. Right. Yeah. So, we that went on for the longest time, I guess, until finally, I think somewhere in middle school, he ended up moving with me full time. That's because she ended up she started working a couple jobs or whatever, and just she couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's understandable.
Right.
Yeah,
So she was a weekend
yeah.
mom. So it was great for her because she had that whole playtime.
Take him do all the fun things.
Yep.
Make it harder on you. Why are you not taking me to do all this?
No, he knew. I mean, his mom's party animal anyway. You know, she really is awesome. She's a friend of mine. You know,
and that's amazing that you guys are best friends. Like I met her.
Yes.
She's a great, great girl.
Yeah.
She's, like, I was surprised when I met her at first. I was like, "Who's this lady?" And you're like, "Oh, she's Matthew."
Matt's
I wasn't properly introduced, so it took me a few meetings to know who is she.
Yeah. I mean, she really is. I mean, she's to be honest, she's like family. Yeah. I mean, and it like when my wife and her finally first started meeting, it took a little bit for them to both warm up against, whatever. And then now they're like, I mean, they'll go hang out together, call each other, let me go do this. I mean, we really do bond as a family. Dude, seriously, like when Jeffrey was born, we're in remodeling the home, so the whole house was just full of dust, all that stuff, and obviously babies don't come when you ask them to. They just show up when they're ready.
Exactly.
So it was, the house was still full of dust and all that stuff. When we were in the hospital, Matt's mom showed up with her mom, cleaned the whole house.
Oh.
While we were in the hospital. Oh, no doubt.
That's amazing, bro.
She is amazing. I mean, she, I mean, my kids call her Thea, Aunt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one day they'll finally understand that it's Matt's mom. Yeah. And it's not quite the same, but I don't think they get it now, but she'll
still be Aunt.
Oh no, she's still going to be Aunt. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. I think they'll just understand that. Oh wait, hold on. I don't know.
We don't need the definition.
Yeah, exactly.
But it works.
But it works. Yeah. But it is, she really is awesome. I mean, she's always there. She'll call us and say, hey, something's for the kids, something happening this weekend. You guys want to come, go do something. I mean, she's pretty.
What blows my mind is how much of a friend she is to your wife. I mean, if I look back at my exes.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's a tough sell there.
Dude, to be friends with my wife now. Yeah. Oh man, like
Again, I think it was that at the beginning. I think like especially from my wife was like I don't know about that, right?
Right.
And then she's like, oh wait, you guys really are just like just family. I mean, there's nothing more than that. I mean, there's no whatever. You guys had a kid together. When my wife and I finally started getting serious, it was like, I mean, way later from me and her. I mean, you had a long gap there. So she was like, okay, cool. And everything was good. And I mean, seriously, now my wife, they'll be texting or whatever. They go hook up, they go eat, I won't even be there. It's just her. I mean, it might just even be just them two.
Yeah.
So I mean, they got to, it's a nice little family bond.
It
really is.
Man. I like that. That's really cool, man. That's really impressive. I mean, seriously, that's something you don't really see that much,
No.
I mean, what would you tell other dads that have a similar situation? They're married to a spouse and they have kids from a previous spouse and they're trying to be the best dad they could be to raise their family. But you got, pretty much two different women, one ex, one current.
They've got all the reasons to not be friends.
I know. And that's really the hardest thing. The biggest thing is, and what worked out between us is at the very beginning, we said, it's always about him.
Yep.
No matter what happens anywhere else, we're always going to make sure we do what's right for him. And whenever, again, when this was something that we started from get-go. So when my wife, girlfriend, friend who became, a girlfriend who became my wife, when she finally came in the picture and she saw what that was and saw that it was always just about him. It wasn't about how I felt about, Matt's mom, right? It wasn't about that. It was about, always about how, we're making sure everything's taken care of for Matt.
Right.
If it's, if we have to go to an event or we're going to dinner afterwards or whatever, we didn't want to make it, oh no, we can't do it because she's there. Or we want him to have a normal life. I mean, and again, this was something I didn't even think about saying something like this, but when I was actually going to marry, when me and my wife now was going to get married, my son actually, I thought it was really weird, didn't expect it because he saw how we were always together, everybody was, and he goes, well, why didn't you marry my mom? And I was just like,
how old was he when that question
15.
was asked?
15, okay.
15 years old. So he's old enough. Right. And the thing about it, I guess it was just because it was a normal thing for him.
Yeah.
He didn't see, even though there was no relationship, it was as far as like a girlfriend, boyfriend or anything like that. It was
Right.
just, he just like, well,
We're always together.
We're always together. Everybody's
together.
always together. What's
Yep.
going on? So that was an interesting conversation. We could get into that at a different time because I didn't really
I
expect to
kind of want
say.
to hear your answer to it.
So, okay. So when I had to tell him, I said, you, because, when you're with your kids all the time, you think they kind of know everything, right? I
Mhm.
mean, because I'm a very open dad, right? So, I mean, if something goes on, I explain to him why, right?
Mhm.
The reasons why behind everything. And I guess it's just because we're always in that kind of situation. I never really said, you don't really know the whole story, because he always been there. It's just, he just never really understood it, right?
Right.
And I never sat down. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let's sit down and let's do this. You're old enough now.
Mhm.
Let's go through this whole, what happened between between him and his, me and his mom, and then it actually, that opened up a lot, because I was like, do you have any questions for your dad as far as how I was, or is there anything you've ever wondered? So it was all about Dad's history, and it was really eye opening for him, just because.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of things I've never told him, because I
Right.
wasn't.
No, he's young enough. Yeah.
I was a young, dumb kid. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that I would never do
We
now.
all are, brother.
Right,
We
exactly.
all
What
are.
was it? Young, dumb.
Young, dumb, and full of cum. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
There it is.
Scenario heard him say that for the first time. She lost it.
Oh, really? Yep. That's true.
Well, now
That's
no more
it.
cum. But anyways.
Yeah. Or lack of.
Lack
for
of.
you,
Oh,
my
shit.
man. Small balls.
That's why he was holding the baseball.
Yeah, there it is.
Trying to
Yeah.
feel alive again.
Yeah, feel alive again, brother.
So there you
I
go.
think the biggest hats off is to Katie. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
she could made that outcome totally different
Yeah.
just by making every turn hard.
Yep.
To make every turn easy, I'm sure made you love her more,
Oh,
as
yeah.
it should.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, that relationship and meshing well. I mean, if she didn't want it to, y'all wouldn't have. So
Right.
I
Oh,
think
for
a
sure.
big hat off to her.
Yeah.
Hands
Huge.
down. No. So there was another relationship, that was a little bit more serious before. And yeah, every step was difficult.
Yeah.
No
Guy's
one.
a supermarket with his box.
I'm
of
telling you, he
cereals.
went to the Costco for his.
Finally found one that worked. It's the best cereal ever that I love. I love you, baby.
Hats off to you.
Yeah. No, she is amazing. I'm not even lying to you. I mean, yeah, that takes that. I try to put myself in her shoes, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. No.
I appreciate
No,
you.
she's
and
an
she really
amazing
is.
woman, dude.
Yeah.
My wife is just, I mean, she loves her, man. She looks at her like a sister, man.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It really is.
She's a good
she's an
person.
amazing woman.
That's why I married her.
Yeah, that's it.
Can't hide a good heart.
Yep. So
Yeah, for real.
your pretty much priority is you took any drama that could be,
Mhm.
you took any issues that could be,
Mhm.
and you prioritized and you made sure that your kid, Matthew, that was priority.
Always.
That was priority.
Right.
You didn't care about, okay, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is my ex. Okay, whatever. We're not getting back. Matthew's priority.
Look, man, see, and again, this plays back into, how I was, where my dad was never really in the picture, that I knew no matter what I had to do, my kid would never experience that.
Right.
And nothing against everybody does their own things differently or whatever. So I just knew that I wish I had
Yeah.
a father that was always there,
Yeah.
or, at least sometimes there.
I hear that.
Nope. Me too, brother. Me too.
And so that was when I was just
We'll
like,
get into that. Don't worry, viewers. We'll get into that.
so that's why I was just like, you know what? I don't really care. I wanted him to make sure he had a dad supported him, always there for him. No drama I wasn't going to let another woman ruin what I could do for him.
right.
Make choices for me, because, oh, she doesn't feel comfortable with this person or whatever the situation was. No.
Yeah.
I made sure my son, and again, when I got with Katie, and she's amazing. She didn't make anything difficult. Again, at the beginning, it was a little, whatever, but it was a lot of talking, letting her understand that, it was. And again, people don't really know when you started dating, not when you're 16, you know what I mean? When you're later on,
The next episode is going to be about how that happened. Yeah.
So, it's about, some people are like, they dealt with different people. So they're like, you're a liar, you know? You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't believe that for 1 minute. Right.
Right.
So, not saying she was just, she came around really, really fast.
Mhm.
And she didn't make anything difficult. She always knew she was I mean, any relationship or anything is just like, look, kid first, man. I promise you, I'll take care of you. I'll treat you right. I'll do everything right, but I'm not going to screw up my kids.
Right.
You know,
Right.
And here we are.
I'm telling you, man. And you know what? Your story is just, it's amazing, you know, and that's how every family should be like. Even with a blended family, even with a divorced family, anything like that, the priority should be the kid. You know what I mean? Should be the kid. That kid will remember everything from, and you know, it'll blow your mind how many years that kid will remember. Even if you're, oh, they're too young, they won't remember. No, hold on. They will. They will remember. And I'm just impressed on all your family, all your kids, your situation, how you got through everything you went through. To me, it's impressive because you went through so much different challenges and dynamics. And then, like you said, you're living a normal, you finally got your kids at a good baseline, and then you're about to throw in a new baby. And, you know, it's, you're pretty much about to, you know, start all over again and go through that again. And I mean, I'm just going, man, I'm so glad I can't do that anymore. Like, it's just, it's impressive, you know, and it really is. Yeah.
Small balls. We get it.
But you know what, though, our viewer question is pretty much
hopefully it's not small balls, but yeah.
Are your balls included in the question?
Where's my ball at? Hold on. All right, there we go. Here we go. And we got a viewer question from Chad in Houston, Texas. He wrote, what are some things you do to maintain a good work-family life balance when raising multiple kids and both parents work full-time? I mean, you have multiple kids, both you and your wife work full-time. I mean, how do you do it?
Well, Pedro, you wanna take a stab at this one?
So I can't relate to the multiple kids, but I can relate to a kid that acts like she's multiple. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning with her, and that wasn't a wake up. That was we never went to bed. But anyways, so work-life balance. I mean, like I'd mentioned early on, going into business for myself, that was, you know, me and my wife talk about all the time. I think she likes it about me. I've always planned for the future, right? I always thought about what's next, you know, enjoy the moment, but be prepared for what's next.
Exactly.
So, I mean, we were living downtown at the time, 2017, in a high rise, beautiful, right? And out of nowhere, we were sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings on West Gray. And I told my wife, no, we love wings across the board, right?
Yeah, right.
We were at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I told my wife, like, hey, there's a few houses about 30 minutes from where we are now in a nice suburb. I think it's time to make the suburban change. And she was like, why? You know, it's just you and I. Life is great. I'm like, yeah, but we got to think about when the kid comes, when we do have a kid. We want our kid to be in a good, safe environment. Let's be ahead of the curve. Let's not get the news and then say, oh shit, now what? We're like, let's catch up to the curve.
Right.
So we made the move early, getting prepared for it. So in my mind, when I was in business for myself early on, like I said, I was with Ariel the whole time. I was thinking future. You know, I don't want to miss a birthday. I don't want to miss an event. I don't want to miss playing at the park that they have at their school today. Right. I don't want to miss these things, right? So let me put myself in the position ahead of the curve to be ready. So I was fortunate enough to have the business going. You know, I was like 7 years in before Grace came along. So I was always able to, at that point, say, you know, let me decide what the priorities are. Right. Let me decide what event is non-negotiable, what situation I have to be there for, which one's okay. You know, Ariel, you got this one, right? So just doing that, it gave me the freedom to have the flexibility for the work-life balance. So we don't ever really have to discuss like, hey, I need a little bit less from you at work. I need you here a little bit more, because, you know, I read the room. If I'm needed, I'm needed. I'm able to do that. Fortunate enough to be in that situation. And she does work full time. We're both full time, but we are able to, we don't miss anything. We're there for everything. So I was able to plan ahead for that. And it's worked out great. Yeah. So like I said, it's panned out very well for us. I mean,
yeah.
How about you?
You know what, for me, I mean, like you, we only have one kid, but me and my wife, we both work full time, and it's a lot. You know, I mean, by the time we drop off Sarah, we're rushing to work. We get to work, we do our 8 hours, rush into, you know, daycare or school, get Sarah, feed her dinner, spend, you know, maybe an hour with her, take her to give her bed, go to bed, and then maybe spend an hour, 30, 40 minutes, maybe just me and her watching some TV, talking, doing what we're doing, shower, go to bed. So Monday through Friday, we kind of figure that Monday through Friday, that's just how it is. Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, that's when we spend family time, friend family time. We do events, we bring you guys, hey, what do you guys want to do? Make sure she still has her friends connected if you guys can, or we go do something else. We make sure that weekends we're out and about. We're doing something. Like tomorrow, we're going to go to the rodeo, first time here in Houston. We've never been. So we're always trying to find something to do where we're spending that whole day with her, whole day with me and her. And, me and Eliza, we try to find date nights to have a babysitter to come in and watch Sarah and just, go enjoy times with ourselves. Not as much as I would want to, but that's the sacrifices that happen sometimes when you have a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you just have to work around it. I'll try to, throw a little date nights at home when I can, that doesn't happen as much as I want to, but, we try. So you just have to find that work-life balance and still accomplish everything you need to accomplish, from spending time with your wife, making sure you're okay mentally and physically. And, obviously make sure your daughter has enough time and your kid has enough time to, entertain and have fun and laugh and see the world that we live in. So
for sure. Yeah. So I think the key on this one, and this one, it's a little easier for both of you, is it's that one kid. Oh, yeah. And it's a multi-kid thing here. Yeah. And it depends on what their age gaps are. And as ours, the 4, 2-year-old, all that stuff, they're a little easier at this point because they're not really into everything. Right. It's like, once you start getting older, like Matt was, he was into everything, right? I mean, we had him in everything, at least once, right? Baseball, whatever sport, soccer, all the different things, until he found one he liked. If your kid's really active, you're really going to be struggling. Right. I mean, because that means, who's taking them to practice, who's picking them up from practice, who's going to the games, when you're going to the games. And when you're talking about two parents that are both working, that's a struggle. Yeah. And that was just with one kid, and now obviously I'm going to have, yes, I have 3. One's in college, so I don't really have to worry about him too much or whatever. Right. So, but whenever the other two start getting into those activity times, it's going to be a real struggle. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, like the things that really do kind of help, and actually I learned this with, the previous box of cereal and Matt, since we weren't in the same household, is shared calendars. And that's going to work in the same household. Yep. It's just make sure you're sharing that calendar. You make sure you put all those events in there, because if you and your wife, I mean, you don't work together, if you're not in the same building and you're working at different times and you have different schedules. I mean, it's like for instance, me and my wife, right? I mean, I go into work. I'm at work at 6 a.m, not because I want to, but it means I could get off earlier. Right. Now, my wife actually takes them, so she has to deal with them in the morning, getting them ready and all that other stuff. Yeah, we see that when we drop off our daughter. Yeah. And mad props to her, because she's trying to get herself ready and 2 kids ready and get them to school. Yeah. So she drops them off. We all, I mean, the responsibility, luckily my 21-year-old helps with picking him up, taking care of him when he can. And if not, it's me or my wife doing it. And it's tag team, man. I promise you, it's not one responsibility on one person. It's, we do everything the same. I mean, if she can do it, I can do it. If I can do it, she can do it. It's just that's right. Right. So, whenever you're starting to get older and you're starting, the kids are getting older and you're starting to try to figure all that out, it's make sure that don't put it on one parent. It's easier for you. That's fine. It's easier for you. The kid's going to see it a little bit different. That's right. That's right. So you want to make sure you're taking that time. Work's important, but it's not that important that you're going to be missing your kids' stuff. Right. Yep. It's not like, a lot of times, unfortunately, like me, when I was going through with Matt, it's always moms normally always there. Moms are always there. Dads, yeah, sometimes, but moms for sure, they're always there. It should be, dads need to be there too. That's right. And the thing about it is, like, for me, it's, I'm going to be there as much as I can, even with the other parent there. Right. I mean, I want to see it. I want to experience it. I want to cheer them on. I want to make sure that they know I'm there to support them in every which way. And
you want your kid to see y'all there.
Right. Exactly.
They'll see that. They'll remember it.
Exactly. So, I mean, again, a shared calendar, and as far as, when you're home and, it's like, like that whole cooking thing I asked the other day, does she cook with your wife? Because, I mean, yes, that's a normal time. And if you're just shunning your kid to the other room, let me cook or whatever. So, well, you don't get that time with them, and they don't get that time with you. So it's like, let them be involved in, the normal day-to-day activities. So it's like, you're always kind of bonding with your kids. I'll tell you, like, that's again, because of my upbringing, I wanted to make sure I was always bonding with my kid, my eldest. Now it's like the same with the other ones.
Right.
It's like everything I can do, if I can involve the kids, yes, it's probably going to take longer. It's not going to be as quick,
Right.
you know.
And I'm still learning that. It takes patience.
It's patient. It's a lot of patience. So, but again, it's making sure that you're always trying to be there for your kids. It is going to be a struggle. You're not going to always be able to do it. That's why you need your partner to be on the same page, and don't put everything on your partner one way or another. You guys are a team, and work as a team.
That's amazing, man. I like that. I like that answer. Well, thank you, Chad, for that question. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Chad.
And
Thanks, Chad.
thank you for watching us. And if you haven't, please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out and helps us grow. So we got Jonathan, we got Pedro, and I'm Jason. Thank you for watching.